Tonight, Ogunquit Playhouse is now presenting the world premiere of the musical The Nutty Professor. It's based on the 1963 film starring Jerry Lewis, and the book and lyrics for the show were written by Rupert Holmes.
Now, that name, Rupert Holmes, may not ring a bell, but he's had a remarkable career as a singer, songwriter, arranger, novelist, screenwriter, and Tony Award-winning composer. There's one song in particular that he wrote and sang that is instantly recognizable to anyone who's familiar with American pop music over the last 4 decades.
We got the inside story on that song when Rupert Holmes was in Ogunquit for previews of The Nutty Professor. We started our conversation by talking about his boyhood, growing up in a house that was filled with music, all kinds of music.
There was never any thought that my life would be anything other than dedicated to music. And the only problem for me with music was that I also wanted to tell stories. So I had to figure a way that I could be a composer and a writer at the same time.
How old were you, though, when you really said to yourself, this is how I'm going to make my living? I'm not just going to be good as a musician, but I'm going to make my living in music.
Maybe when I was 16, and I had my first band of my own, and we were so bad that we couldn't play other people's songs, so I had to write the songs for the band because I knew what few chords that we actually knew, and I started writing songs for the band and singing them myself, and I thought, this could be my trade. I could do this, and I also thought, and I could tell stories in these songs, and that would let me be a writer as well as a composer.
You told a story in what was your very first hit song, Jennifer Tompkins, which made it onto the top 40 charts.
I can't believe you know that song.
Jennifer Tompkins was born on a Sunday. Her daddy got drunk and left home on a Monday.
I actually sang that song accidentally. I was the arranger and writer on it, and the singer didn't show up for the recording session, and I was the only other person who knew the tune. So they said, well, you go out and sing it, and it went to 38 on the charts.
And you were, what, 22 years old?
I was,
something like that?
Maybe 20 or 21 even. I could have been that young, I think so.
And then another top 40 hit, Timothy.
Timothy.
The only song that has ever broken out that had a theme of cannibalism?
Well, you know, of all the cannibalism songs you've ever heard, you have to admit, that is among the top 3. I was young, I was 20 years old or so. I had no contacts in the record business, and I tried to think, how can I get attention to this rock band that has a chance to record one song? They had a contract for 145 record. And I thought, well, maybe if I write a song that gets banned, there will be controversy, and they'll get a contract to make a whole album. So I sat down, calculated, what can I write about that you can sort of sing about, but you sort of can't? And I thought, cannibalism during a mining disaster, that's great. Because it's not sex, it's not drugs, it's just cannibalism. After about a year, it was number 17 on the charts.
Storytelling is at the heart of your biggest commercial success, Escape, the Pina Colada Song. When you're out and about and you hear that in a restaurant, a supermarket, on the car radio, whatever, what goes through your head?
It never fails to delight me and excite me. I know it sounds ridiculous. If I'm walking down the street and someone drives by in a convertible and I'm coming out of their radio, I want to go, hey, but just so you, I'm with, you know.
I was tired of my lady. We'd been together too long.
Oddly enough, the original line that you wrote was not, if you like pina coladas.
Yeah, you talk about things changing your life. I was 10 seconds away from recording the vocal to this song, and I had written the lyric, if you like Humphrey Bogart and getting caught in the rain. And just before I was going to do the vocal, I thought, Humphrey Bogart, that's a black and white image. That's noir. And yet this couple is looking for something exciting, an escape, like going to the tropics, going to the islands. So when you go to the islands, and you're on the beach, you never order your first day out on vacation, you never order a Budweiser, you order some tropical drink that announces that you're, so I thought, what are the escape drinks? What would be the metaphor for that? And I thought, Mai Tai, daiquiri, pina colada. I'd never had a pina colada in my life. And I went, let's see, if you like Humphrey Bogart, no. If you like pina coladas, I said, oh, add an eighth note, that rhythm bounces more. I said, I'll make it that.
like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain.
It's terrifying when you think about a decision that you made in a matter of seconds that ended up influencing the next 45 years of your life.
All right, we're going to play Pina Colada trivia.
Okay.
The Pina Colada is the national drink of A, Cuba, B, Puerto Rico, C, Old Orchard Beach.
Oh, is this a trick question? My honest answer would be I assume it is Puerto Rico.
Correct.
That's good.
Question number 2. The key ingredient in a Pina Colada is rum, vodka, coffee brandy.
Well, we can do that by process of elimination. It is not coffee brandy. It's just kind of like when people make chocolate martinis. I say, if it's chocolate, that's not a martini, okay? No chocolate. So, yes, it's rum. It's rum.
National Pina Colada Day falls on the date of A, February 24th, B, February 29th, C, July 10th.
You've done your research. Yes, it should fall on February 24th because that's my birthday.
Ding! But it actually falls on
the third one, July, what is it?
10th.
10th, thank you. I don't actually personally celebrate it because I have pina coladas handed to me all year round, every other day of the year.
Escape, the Pina Colada Song,
Yes.
was the first pop song to hit #1 on the charts in 2 different fill-in-the-blank.
Decades. Top of the chart for 2 decades, almost without interruption.
Last month in 1979,
Yes.
first month in 1980.
Yes.
You mentioned this before, but before you wrote the Pina Colada Song, in your entire life, how many pina coladas had you actually consumed?
I've kept track, and I actually never had one.
Zero.
I only drank 0 pina coladas, had no idea what they tasted like. The first time I had one was when I was performing the song at a presentation for my first album, and someone said, we got some pina coladas, to celebrate your song. And I thought, well, might as well find out what they taste like.
I think you're 5 for 5, so let's go for the bonus question, the final one. Number 6 on our list.
I have control of the board.
You have control of the board. How much would you like to wager? No. Here is the last question. Escape hit #1 in December of '79. It got knocked off from the #1 spot by a song by Casey and the Sunshine Band, but then it went back to #1 in January of 1980. What song knocked it from the #1 position for good?
That's tricky. Boy, you're going to get me this time, okay? I'm sorry I bet everything on this last on the Final Jeopardy question here. I'm going to guess. I would narrow it down. I would guess "Still" by the Commodores or "Rock with You" by Michael. Oh, wait. Was it Streisand and Donna Summer? Enough is Enough? No, I knocked them off the charts.
You had it. You were almost there.
Almost there?
You had it in your grasp, and then you let it slip
But not Michael
through.
Jackson. Not Michael Jackson. It is "Rock with You"?
Rock with You
Rock
by
with
Michael
You.
Jackson.
Well, do you know I actually went to Gary, Indiana when Michael Jackson was 6 years old. I had heard them at the Apollo Theater, the Jackson 5. This is before they signed with Motown. I was going to try to get a record deal for the family. I met the father, I met Jermaine. I taught Jermaine how to play bar chords, and I was in their home in Gary, Indiana. They were on a label called Steeltown Records. And when Michael knocked me off the charts, that's now I remember, when Michael knocked me off the charts, I thought, that little boy was 6 years old, just knocked me off the charts, and more power to him.
That's a great story.
It's true.
More.
Well, yeah. Just bear with us. The Nutty Professor is running at Agunquit Playhouse through August 8th. We've got more information on the show, tickets, show times, all of that in the 207 section of our News Center Maine website and app.